Welcome to the BMW E28 tune-up series.
I don't know if we've ever told you guys this before, but before we started Speed Academy, I was actually a plastic surgeon, and one of my specialties was nose jobs. Therefore, I decided it was time that Peter's E28 needed a little tweak. I felt its nose was a bit too pointy, so I pushed that in a little bit, and I felt there was too much symmetry in the front bumper area here, so I pushed this side in a bit too. In other words, I backed my Tundra into Pete's E28 in our driveway. We never park anything behind the truck normally, so I just jammed it in reverse and started backing
Just
up.
had a moment.
Kaboom!
You get one of these in your lifetime,
Kaboom!
and I think this one is it.
Well, I guess it's better that I ruined my friend's car as opposed to my wife's car. And ruined is maybe a strong word.
Yeah.
We actually found a hood for it already, which, as you'll see, is a real gem. Pete's ordered new brackets to remount the front bumper. So I think, all things considered, it could have been worse. Apparently these Euro bumpers are worth like $1 million.
They are, yeah. If you
cannot
can find
find
them, yeah, they're impossible to find.
And
they're like $1,000 a piece.
I only just tweaked the rubber bit here a little bit, which
It's
that'll buff
okay,
out. It'll
yeah.
buff out. So
Because this is, after all, a winter beater.
it is your winter beater, and occasionally my winter beater when you're borrowing the Tundra. It's seen a lot of miles, so it's just time to give it an overhaul, isn't it?
And as you can see, it is a dirty mess. I have actually yet to wash this car after winter, and it is June, and there are several reasons for it. A, we're just so busy, and that's what usually happens to your daily. It does get neglected, and it has been neglected. The paint on this car is a little rough now. Like Dave said, it's seen about 4 winters, but this is originally a Virginia car. It is a 1987 BMW 528e. So it's much better than a lot of the cars up here in Canada. These are hard to find because they've all rotted out. But this one, it's still going, and it's going good. And I love this car, actually. I really, really do. And I got around to thinking, you know what? It is time to give this thing a bit of an overhaul. It has not seen much body or mechanical work or interior work, so the time has come to do that. So that's what this video series is going to be about, and make it look somewhat respectable again, because I do have a little bit of pride driving my daily, and right now the condition it's in, not so much. In the interior, really the biggest problem is my seat has a large gaping hole in it, and that is from the winter. I'm pretty sure this is vinyl, and what happened was it got really cold. This car does sit outside, and it cracked, and it's been like this, and it's been getting worse for about 2 years now. So I've got some replacement seats from an E30 that are cloth that I think will be pretty awesome in here. We may have to do a little bit of modifying to make them fit. Also, the steering wheel has seen better days. It's a little rough, so I've got a replacement for that. We're gonna work on that. And I've got a short shifter.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. The throw on this thing's a little long. I wanted to see if I could improve my driving in terms of enjoyability, and I always found the shifter to be a little bit long one, so I got one from UUC, which is the premier company for short shifters, and it fits the E28, which is awesome. I'm not gonna really get into too much paint work. What I wanna do is touch up a couple major areas. Otherwise, like, the roof is faded and whatnot, and I don't want to get into doing a full repaint on this car. It is just not ready for that yet. I want to fix the antenna. It doesn't go down. It's stuck halfway. I want to find somebody that can beat out this E28 Euro bumper. It's got a little bit of a dent from somebody backing into it.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't you, thankfully. So I want to fix that. And below, there's a whole lot of rust in this area from a poor job that I did when I used like this Rhino liner kind of adhesive after I did the Euro bumper conversion on it to paint over. So I'm gonna actually clean all this up and repaint it again, and hopefully that'll work. The winter tires are still actually on this car, and this is my winter wheel setup. So these are gonna be replaced with some of my Alpina wheels that I've got, with some new Conti rubber. But the biggest shortcoming that I've had in this car are the brakes. They are notorious, the rotors are notorious for warping, and I've probably gone through 3 sets now, so I'm tired of that. I'm gonna be doing a bigger brake upgrade from, I think, a 540i E34. So we'll get to that. And the other big issue with this car is the suspension. It does crash over bumps at high speeds. So at low speeds, it's okay, it's compliant, but at high speeds, it's just not very good. So we have a treat for you. We're gonna be doing Fortune Auto coilovers on this, which will, I think, really transform the car and give it that real pleasure to drive on a daily basis. So we'll get to that. This front lip, well, it's seen better days too. So now that Luke has to repaint from 242 Customs, has to repaint my hood, I'm gonna have him repaint this front lip as well to clean it up. And there's a host of other things that we need to get to, small items, but for beginners, I think we should start off under the hood. And what we're gonna do is just a simple tune-up. I'm gonna change out the air filter. I've already done the rotor and the cap and the wire, so we're gonna do spark plugs as well. So let's get started with that. Oh yeah, that's actually not that bad. I haven't changed these in the 4 years that I've owned this car, and
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you're long overdue, but
They look
don't
all
look
right.
terrible. I mean, it's hard to judge if that gap's grown a lot over time.
Well, so this is the official Bosch replacement plug, and if you look at the gap, holy smokes. So there were definitely some very crusty spark plugs, and I've got the Bosch replacements, which are ordered from Rock Auto, and I'm still amazed to this day the amount of parts that Rock Auto has.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna finish installing these spark plugs. Of course, I'm gonna use some anti-seize, and then we can move on here.
Well, I figured after damaging your car, the least I could do is maybe clean up the rather oily engine bay you've got here, which has obviously been rust-proofed, oil sprayed in the winter to
It has,
keep
yes,
it from
many
rusting,
times actually.
which is important. So I'm not going to wipe it off the metal parts, but I figured I'd wipe the worst of the goo off the plastic parts, make it a little more presentable.
The now cracked plastic, you mean?
Well, the plastic actually survived my attempts to murder it, actually. I'm quite impressed.
It did. Just the small little minor crack is right here.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So I may need to source that. If you know where to get that, by all means, send me an email.
Let me know, since I'll be buying these parts. But these degreaser wipes actually do a really nice job.
Yeah, keep at it.
They're lubricated, so I'm just going to keep wiping until my guilt subsides a little bit.
With the spark plugs done, I wanted to mention this car has 230,000 miles on it. So quite a few. I've already done the timing belt on it, I think at 200,000. But what I haven't checked is how the trusty K&N air filter that I think I installed 2 or 3 years ago is doing. So I'm pretty curious to see what kind of condition it's in. All right, let's see.
How dirty is that?
DP.
It's not bad. Ooh, that side is dirty. Wow.
So we're gonna have to give this a quick cleanup. I actually have a K&N recharge kit, I think that's what they call them, sitting on the shelf. So we'll clean this up and put it back in.
Just gonna take a little breather here from cleaning Pete's engine bay while he cleans that air filter. I'm gonna give his fuel system a quick little tune-up. Tune-up in a bottle. This is STP's Ultra 5-in-1 fuel system cleaner. And it does all the stuff you would want a fuel system cleaner to do. So it'll clean up all the gunk on your injectors and in your fuel system so that it performs better. It can actually save gas in the process. And it even has the benefit of lubricating the piston rings and cylinder walls. And let's be honest, this car hasn't had a lot of maintenance. So I'm pretty sure the fuel system's pretty gummy. This will help get it nice and clean. Well, Peter, I hope you appreciate the little wipeout I've given your engine here.
It does look better, DP.
It looks better. I can see emblems. All these BMW emblems were buried under like a layer of sludge. So it's nice to at least be able to see what you're working on a little bit better. Truth be told, it needs a power wash to get into all the little nooks and crannies, but as a starting point, at least now when we put our hands in the engine bay, we're not going to be as filthy as we were before. I think the next step now is maybe take the hood off and we can start thinking about that other hood.
This is what you get from Canada's finest junkyard for an E28.
Yeah.
It is faded. It has Actually, only one small rust hole that goes straight through. There's another rust hole here, a little bit of rust up here. So actually from a top side, it's not in that bad of shape. But on the flip side, you can see this hood has seen better days. I've actually already gone ahead and wire wheeled it just to clean off a lot of the rust areas and get ready to put some rust inhibitor paint on here. But it's kind of rough here and there. I mean, this will all be covered, so that's not a big deal. Even these areas here should be covered up. So as long as I lock this rust in, I think it'll be okay. But if you have a hood within 150 miles of Toronto that is in mint shape, please call me. I will come pick it up.
Top tuning tip, cover your engine bay in a sheet so that your plastic clips don't fall in there. Never to be found again.
I just saved 3 of them.
All right.
All right, ready?
I think so. She goes.
There it goes. So long.
Nose job.
Okay. Let's see what the damage here is, DP.
Oh no, this is the sad part of the show.
The bumper.
On this
The one side wants to come off. The
collect-
other side is mangled here.
Yeah. She's kind of welded on there from my modifications.
Well, it's just bent. The bracket that holds this bumper on is bent.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Oh.
Careful, don't
Almost
drop
broken.
those things.
So that's what a normal bracket looks like.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And that is now the DP bracket.
Nice.
So unfortunately it bent a little bit
On the chassis side?
on the chassis side here. It's not bad actually. Like, see, I should be able to just bend this back. Well,
With some persuasion.
yeah,
we can
we'll
bend
get that
back,
bent
yeah.
back, and then
Yeah.
the other side's totally good. But thankfully none of this
Got hit.
actually
yeah,
got hit.
Yeah.
So we're
Dodged
we're
a
all
bit of
good.
a bullet.
And while I have this off, I think it's gonna need a good polishing. I'm gonna polish up the lights here too.
Yeah.
Just do all this work.
See, I just made your car better for you, Pete. It just requires some effort, that's all.
Yeah, I guess.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
Now that the K&N filter is dry, I let it sit for about half an hour outside. We are ready to hit it with the filter oil. This is kind of like reminiscent of the factory tour we went on.
Yeah.
Except the machine did this, so I don't know how good I'm gonna do a job, but we'll see. Let's see how this goes.
The instructions say just to sort of spray it on there so you fill each pleat.
Yeah,
Don't put too much on though. You don't need to go crazy.
I know. The tendency is to go crazy.
Yeah, this isn't a case of more is better, I don't think.
I think you're right. What do you think? Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. And I guess we should tell people that that spray is designed to basically help trap dirt.
Yeah,
It helps
yeah.
the filter do its job, right?
Well, if you look at the before and after when I showed it to you, it looked pretty new on one side, and then I flipped it over, and that's where all the dirt was caught. So it says we're supposed to let this sit for 20 minutes, so we'll do that, and then we can put it back in. 20 minutes later, it's time to drop this bad boy in and get another 30,000 miles out of it before I have to clean it. I shouldn't actually say that. I don't know what the
mileage is?
mileage interval is on this, but
Well,
it was 30,000 miles since I've installed it.
okay, and it was plenty
And
dirty.
it was plenty
so-
dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last job of the day today is taking off the rear Euro bumper. As I said, it's got a nice dent in here that I'm gonna try to figure out how to fix. You gotta have a proper metal guy that knows what to do here. I definitely am not that, because I know it's really difficult to get this back to perfect, but if you can get it to 90%, that'll be good. And I think this is 2 bolts inside, 2 bolts here. And if you're wondering how to do this conversion, if you happen to have an E28 and you've struck gold and you can buy these bumpers, check out our website, speed.academy. There's a full how-to story on the full Euro conversion of this car on there. Rest assured, these mud flaps, I don't run all the time. This is just a winter thing, try to protect this pristine chassis from rotting even more. So now there's a bolt back here. If you can see the amount of rust protection on here. My goodness.
Yeah, heavy duty, rubbery.
It is super on there. I can't even feel the bolt back here. But it's in there somewhere. I'll figure, oh, like, look at, wow, there's a lot of stuff back here. There we go. Oh yeah. Yes. It's a real sagger right away.
Yeah,
jeez. Wow. So these bolt up in a relatively simple fashion, much easier than the ones up front. So all you have to do is drill 2 holes in your chassis, or sorry, 4 holes in your chassis, and then just slide the bumper on.
Look at that.
There it is. It's hard to believe this is worth a lot of money, but it actually is. So DP, I think this is a wrap on this video. What do you think?
I think that's a good call.
Excellent. Well, thank you for watching. As always, hit the thumbs up button. If you like this video, leave us a comment. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell, because the more you watch, the more we make videos.
Automotive archaeology continues here as I uncover the slime off of things and discover things like the paint code, BMW Cirrus Blau Metallic, which I assume is like cloud blue metallic, maybe, Peter? Do you know what this paint color is?
It is what exactly you said it is. I'm not going to try to butcher it.
Okay.